At 6:17 a.m., 60 T-90s rolled into a farmland they never left. The lead tanks hit mines, their optics blinded, their comms choked, and the entire spearhead folded in minutes. You clicked for a real breakdown, and you're in the right place. Today, we unpack the invisible kill zone, anti-tank mines, infrared tripwires, seismic sensors, and the drone electronic warfare loop that turned a high-velocity push into a rout. Stay to see how neutralizing C2 and sensors first makes heavy armor fragile, and how Ukraine's grid turned firepower into a trap. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. You wanted the warning that landed 20 minutes early. It came from the ground, the hedges, and the quiet in the air. Not a single flare. Not a single shout. Just a grid that listens. Across the field belts, small seismic nodes sat half-buried like coins. They sip power. They don't talk unless they feel something heavy. A tank tread has a rhythm you can read, whump, bite, roll, and those low-power sensors catch the cadence, then pass a clipped signal down a wired line or a tight beam hop that doesn't leak. You don't get a full song. You get beats, spaced just enough to tell speed and spacing. Down the hedgerows, red lines the eye can't see cut across the lanes. Infrared tripwires set at ankle height so rabbits miss them and boots don't. Each beam gates a path. Break 1, and the lane turns from green to amber on a tablet. Break 2 in sequence, you get direction. Break 3 at a set interval, you've got an estimated pace. It's crude, but fast. Lanes that used to be guesses become live counters. Meanwhile, out in the tree lines, passive RF listeners hunt for emissions. They don't radiate. They wait. A burst from a drone relay. A sync chirp between jammers. A short hop from a platoon net. The listeners log timing, angle of arrival, and strength, then pass it along. No one lights up the sky. No one declares a position by yelling on the spectrum. The terrain does the hearing. The column rolls heavy. Tanks up front. Armor behind. Infantry tucked in. Drone screen already in the air, and their electronic warfare kits warming to carve out a bubble. On paper, they look unstoppable because mass still scares people. But mass is loud. It has a footprint. And when you collect those tiny cues, the tread cadence, the beam breaks, the RF chirps, you start to see shape before the lead vehicle hits the berm. Here's how it plays at the edge. One IR line snaps. Silent alert pings a tablet on a knee. The operator doesn't answer on voice. He taps once and pockets it. That tap arms a preloaded drone that lifts without a radio burst and rides dead-reckoned waypoints. It's a courier with eyes. It tags a grid tile and returns, still mute. In that span, the seismic nodes have already matched a higher mass pattern, and the RF ears have pulled a short-lived sync signal from a jammer coming online. 3 different senses, 3 different routes, 1 map updating by the second. Layered sensors cut delay. Each cue narrows a grid cell. With fusion, the nodes agree on where the weight is thickening and when the spacing tightens. The software flags the lead trio as they compress into the choke. It's not magic. It's math, stacked and simple, done fast. Think of it as a radar made of dirt and wire. The land becomes the antenna. Ruts and rows reflect movement, while hedges and ditches frame it. The attacker leans on lateral jamming to blind flanks, but the defense already pinned them in time and height. Vertical tells, seismic weight and IR gate steps, set depth. Temporal cues, beam intervals and RF timing, set tempo. You can smear a screen sideways. You can't erase the drumbeat in the soil or the click of a beam that broke 3 seconds apart. So the mines were not the finisher. The fusion was. Every firing solution arrived early. Every lane turned wrong by design. Gunners entered aim points that felt like guesses and landed hits like clockwork. With coordinates live and lanes mapped, the kill zone doesn't wait. It reaches forward, grips the spearhead, and drags it into a trap it can't see. What breaks first in a heavy push, the armor, or the nervous system that runs it? In this fight, steel met silence, and silence cut the wires. The lead tanks hit the belts, tracks snap, skirts peel, and the whole line jolts. Directed IR floods wash optics, smoke blooms stack in layers, and gunners squint at white screens. Field EW comes on like a lid, and overhead, drones are already working the grid. The attackers surge their air. Dozens of kamikaze and FPV frames rip in low, looking for antennas, vents, and seams. Jammers come up to claw back control. Rifle caliber fire stitches the sky, tracers hunting the hum. But the column squeezes tight to feel safe, bumper to bumper, armor to armor, and that turns mass into a choke point you can aim at. The drone loop goes to work. Loiterers hold high, slow, and patient, marking heat and hull lines. FPVs knuckle down into the weak spots, engine decks, turret rings, the seam behind the driver. Quadcopters float just off the dust, count impacts, then hand back corrections. No speeches. Just tasks. A hit marker here, a course tweak there, and the next run lands where the first one missed by inches. Ukrainian EW flips the air. Control links get flooded. Not with big noise, but with the right kind of garbage, static and false cues that push hostile drones off their rails. You see it in the flight path, a steady approach, a stutter, then drift into dirt. Seconds are stolen. And when armor is stuck, seconds equal kills. Operators overcorrect and lose signal, and units lose eyes at the exact moment the mine belts demand a plan. Fires come online. 155mm tubes cycle in cadence, GPS-guided rounds walking the tail, then stepping inward. The back of the column tries to turn out and finds the road cut by fresh craters. A fuel truck goes up, and the smoke drags the wind, marking the retreat lane for more strikes. T-84 cruise angle wide to hit the flanks, then slip before return fire can settle. MiG-29s rake the rear area and peel, adding a knife stroke that tells everyone in the middle they're not getting help from behind. Here's the research-backed truth at ground level: once command and control fragments, armor becomes expensive terrain. Each vehicle turns into a node without a network, a steel bunker that can't pass a thought. Crews stay buttoned up and wait for orders that won't arrive. The ones who break silence draw fire. The ones who wait get bracketed by drones that don't need chatter to point a gun. Motorcycle assault teams punch through the gaps, engines low and fast, weaving around burning hulks. They carry a machine gun or an RPG and stop regrouping before it starts. Snipers ride shotgun with a single job, take section leaders when they pop hatches. You feel the radios die. Not because the batteries run out, but because talking gets you killed. The net goes quiet and stays quiet. The attackers push more drones to fill the void. The EW soaks them. Frames veer, stall, and drop, useless scrap metal, in the dirt, while the defenders keep their own links terse and short. Quadcopters spit cluster bomblets at infantry forced to dismount, and incendiaries find soft targets on the logistics tail. The pressure chamber effect sets in. Every lane inward, no lane out. The mine started the fall. Drones and EW finished it, carving a steel serpent into stranded pockets with no orders and no air. Engines idle, then die. Hatches crack. Hands go up because no one can move, and no one can hear the voice that says move. With the spearhead crushed, the ring tightens. Roads close, survivors huddle, and the chaos of minutes turns into hours of capture and intelligence. Armor dies fast when nerves go dark. If you see first, blind hard, and strike where signals live, steel turns slow and soft. That's the rule now. Sensors map the approach, EW strips the voice, and precision fires cut what's left. The win starts before the first shot. If you want more breakdowns of the tech and timing that decide fights, hit the subscribe button and comment the next system you want unpacked. Comment your choice below. The battlefield is an information contest. The side that owns the grid writes the outcome. Master the grid, and the grid does the killing. What would you do next?